What's interesting to me about it, though, is if we go back to that very first line, once upon a time, the planets and the fates and all the stars aligned. You and I ended up in the same room at the same time. So this whole thing is about how she's a mastermind, but it all started with chance still.
It
Like,
all
even
started
within
with
that
fates.
strategy.
So
Yeah.
that brought me right back to Greek mythology. I got, holding up here, my high school copy of the Odyssey. Well loved. I should probably get the feminist. What's the new translation, Jen?
Oh, I forget what her name is, but yeah,
We'll put it in there.
It was Emily something. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Another mythology recommendation, Mythology by Edith Hamilton, is kind of one of the
Ooh.
like cornerstone, and it goes through like every myth and like the different versions and stuff. Highly recommend it.
But yeah, to go back to your point about this first line, the planets, the fates, and the stars aligned. And so in Greek mythology, like something is fated, you cannot escape your fate. So you've got, in the Odyssey, Odysseus is fated to like spend, what is it, 20 years, like have a really hard time getting home. And he does, and the gods play with that. They'll speed up and slow down his trip home. And he is trying to get back, and he's trying to outwit his fate by, like, for example, like tying himself to the bow of the ship so he doesn't get tempted by the sirens, but it doesn't work. The other one that came to mind was Oedipus, that he is fated to kill his father and marry his mother. And he, his parents, like, what do they disown him? They like kick him out. They get rid of him, so that fate can't come true. And he also does everything he can to in order to escape his fate, but he still, spoiler alert, killed his father, marries. If you haven't been, no,
I love the Odyssey comparison because Poseidon hates Odysseus. And wants to kill him, but Odysseus is fated to get home,
right?
And so the most Poseidon can do is make it as long and hard as possible. The Trojan War took 10 years, and then it takes Odysseus 10 more years to get back home.
I'm really impressed that I remembered it was 20 years. It's been about 20 years since I read this book, and I'm very impressed by that. But the other line in here that made me, and I'll speak about, that made me think of the Odyssey was, I'm the wind in our free flowing sails, right? This is this is a boat. This is a maritime journey that Odysseus takes. And the gods literally are the wind in his sails in order to help him get home, or they're the storm that Poseidon sends to send him off track.
It qualifies free flowing. Like, you're not free flowing if you're depending on wind, because you can still be be influenced to go a particular way. I also really